Brad Holmes draft, Lions draft. I kind of listened to some of the positional coaches talk about it. Fox 2 got a lot of good coverage on their YouTube channel. They got a Kirby Joseph interview I haven't watched, but I want to watch it. Um, Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If y'all want more live, especially me at the desk, share this, thumbs this up, double tap while live. The heart the video, the thumbs up the video. If not, I will just neglect doing live streams. I will continue to do it. I have no issue with. I prefer the video format, um, and I literally just pretty much talk Detroit sports for fun at this point. But yeah, man. I mean, I didn't know many guys in the draft, but I know the team. And first of all, I want to shout out to Kirby Joseph. That's well deserved. Him getting paid. I know a lot of people had an issue with Kirby getting paid. I didn't. 21. I mean, Petrie got 14, 13.9. Anytime you get a guy like Kirby Joseph who can take the football away at the rate he takes the football away, and he's an enforcer across the middle. People fear him coming across the middle. I mean, the only weakness that Kirby Joseph has is man-to-man coverage. And a lot of safeties can't cover man-to-man at a high rate. That's if they could cover man-to-man at a high rate, they would be corners. Brian Branch is the exception. He's one of those, guys that, I mean, he's just so useful. I mean, he's just so, like, you get guys that really don't have a true position and they never figure it out. Those Travis Hunter type guys. Remember Isaiah Simons? A lot of us were talking about him out of Clemson. He really didn't have a position. He was like a hybrid. Remember Mark Barron coming out of Alabama? He really didn't have a position. And neither one of them guys really had a lot of success on a pro level. You're a jack of a lot of trades, but a master of none. And one thing about Brian Branch, he literally can do multiple things. And with him being at the nickel, stop. With him being at the nickel position, it was like having an extra linebacker in a corner put into one. That's kind of how they seen I thought Isaiah Simmons was gonna be in the league. With Branch, you got a corner, a nickel. You got a guy that can tackle in the box. You got a guy that can play the deep half of the field. He can rob. The only thing Kirby Joseph can't do that Branch can do is play man coverage. And that's cool. I'm cool with my free safety or my safety. I mean, he can assist in the box. He can stop the run. So I'm glad he got paid. It made too much sense. I mean, that dude is in company with Ed Reed. I think it was 15 plus interceptions and so many tackles. I mean, if you could take the ball away, that's better than a sack. How many games have we seen the Lions lose? More importantly, that's that playoff game versus the Saints many, many years ago when Drew Brees threw 50 interceptions and we dropped off 50 of them. Aaron Berry, Bill Bentley. That was some sorry ass corners we had. So I wanted to see that brother get paid, man, and I think he deserved it. He been on the discount since he got here, and Branch will be there too. So when you get generational talents together like that, you can play safety for a long time. Man. Charles Woodson, he can no longer be the corner that he used to be. Rod Woodson, because Barry Sanders turned him into a safety. They had long careers at corners. At safeties. It prolonged their careers. So we have two unique safeties. And shout out to them. But the draft, I didn't know much. I knew a lot of the needs. I knew the need for, somebody that can put their hand in the dirt and get the quarterback. I knew they needed a need at, guard. And I think, I'll get to guard. Defensive tackle, I never really looked at it as a need until I heard Corey Woods break it down. He made a lot of sense. DJ Reader was a cut candidate, and Lee McNeil blew out his leg. You know what I'm saying? So, the heavier you are coming on an ACL injury, the longer it's going to take to recover. And then you look at it, the Lopez guy, he's just a filler. So he's really not somebody that you can depend on to uh, to start. Brogdon Martin, he just simply ain't developed. And when he started to develop, he got injured. Um, who else we rolling with? Anzarike. The word on the street is he gonna go back to traditional defensive tackle. So, but he had his injury history. So when you start digging into, the defensive tackle position with Kyle Wingo, is he gonna be able to stay healthy? You banking on a 6th round draft pick. You breaking on Roy Lopez. You know, a, a, a spot player. Broderick Martin. You banking on him. I mean, once you start to look at it, to be real, the Tyleik Williams pick, it just made a lot of sense once you look at it from a personnel standpoint of view. So, it made sense because the Lions prioritized stopping the run after getting getting after the passer. But if you continue to still look, there's a lot of talk about this dude having pass rush potential, and a lot of people are kind of shoving that or sweeping that up under the rug, right? But Aleem McNeil wasn't a great pass rusher. We knew he was a great athlete. We knew he was an athlete. I mean, he played baseball. He was a running back in high school. And I think this Tyleik Williams guy, I think they're going to cut his weight down, which they cut Liam McNeil weight down. They cut Broderick Martin weight down. We just didn't get to see the best of Broderick Martin because just like a lot of Brad Holmes picks, he just ain't been healthy. So I think they're going to hold on real quick. I think they're going to cut Tyleik Williams' weight down. And when they cut his weight down, I think you'll start to see him be that 3 technique. And I agree with Brad Holmes said in his assessment, I think with Dan Miller. He sat down with Dan Miller at Fox 2 on a YouTube channel, and he started talking about that. He said that most people didn't see Liam McNeil. They see him as a nose tackle, but it's things they seen on film that showed that he could be a prominent pass rusher. So the more and more I kind of heard Corey Woods break it down, I kind of looked at it. I said it made sense. The Lions put a premium on stopping the run first and foremost. That's what they care about. They want to stop the run. I remember we come from the Jim Schwartz era, a lot of us. Their whole thing was sack the quarterback, play the run on the way to the quarterback. That's not what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell believe. They believe we must stop the run, and then we'll think about getting after the quarterback later. So they prioritize big, strong defensive fronts. If you got speed, they don't need you. I'm telling you that right now. Patricia was the same thing. Matt Patricia, and Bill Belichick. That's why they got phased out the NFL. Hold on, real quick. Stop. Come here. He bad. That's why That's why they got phased out the NFL. It's not the '80s no more. It's not your granddad's Packers, Bears, Cowboys no more. You need guys that can get these mobile quarterbacks. But I get the Tyleik Wallace thing. To me, it made a lot of sense. But then when I hear people talk about the kid from Marshall, Michael Green, whatever his name is, I really heard somebody speak very highly of him, and they passed up on him. I think a couple times, damn near, or at least once. They could have moved up and got him. So I mean, they're gonna prioritize stopping that run. I wouldn't be surprised if they went with a 3-4 this year. It wouldn't surprise me. So they're gonna prioritize stopping that run, and so be it. The next pick was a guard. Tate Ratledge, whatever his name is. Kind of impressed with his dimensions, to be honest. Stop. Yeah, I'm kind of impressed with his dimensions. I mean, that dude stands 6'7". Words being used with him is explosive. Last year, it ain't a draft without a Brad Holmes special. He had an ankle injury. So he played through an ankle injury last year. His whole career, he only gave up 3 sacks his entire career. I guess this is a good number. He only gave up 7 pressures last year in the SEC. According to Pro Football Focus, both of those stats come from. Athletic, strong, big. So, I mean, I'm kind of thinking about all the guards they drafted over the years. The Manu dude they traded up for last year. They projected him to be a guard. Corey Sorsdale was a right tackle at a smaller school. They projected him to be a guard. Um, they drafted Christian Mahogany, who's probably expected to be the starting left guard this year, who played very, very well when he came back from injury last year. It's probably one of the reasons they got rid of Kevin Zeifert. He with Tennessee now. So they got the African guy that played guard. I forget his name. Started with an A. His last name started with an A. Dan Skipper by trade is a guard, not a tackle, but he's been playing backup tackle. You know, so they're going a little bit guard heavy. So one question that probably may need to be, two questions I may have, is somebody pretty much being groomed to be Frank Ragnall's heir apparent? But we already know Ratledge is groomed to be Graham Glasgow's heir apparent. So the question is somebody else kicking the right tackle? Is somebody going to back up Frank Ragnall? Because if they planning on moving on from Graham Glasgow, that tells you that that's your backup center right there. So if they move on from Frank Ragnall, who's going to play center? So that's the great question. It leads me to believe either 1, 2, or 3 of these things are true. One of these guys is going to be a right tackle. More likely it's going to be Manu. Don't forget the kid, Miles Frazier, they drafted later in the draft. He played every offensive line position there is. So don't rule him out as a candidate to kick the right tackle. And also, all the guys I named, somebody may be getting kicked to center at some point. So I don't think they're dubious, or they're unaware that they drafted all these guards. Somebody's getting a position change. Somebody's going to guard, somebody's going to tackle, or somebody's going to center. So I don't know how many of y'all looked at it that way. They've been drafting guard for a while. Don't forget, before Quentin Trisha got out of here, they drafted Logan Stenberger. Don't forget, double tap the screen and like the video. He was a nasty guy out of Kentucky that a lot of people had a lot of hope for, but it just simply didn't work. So when I look at this offensive line, it's not like they getting a lot of, the true talent is at tackle. Let me tell you that. Like, your true talent is at the tackle position. So I didn't really hear a lot of teams collecting guards. I've heard about teams collecting tackles because tackles can easily play guard. If you can play tackle, you can play guard. More likely than not, tackle is where the real true athletes are at offensive line. Mark Solera used to say it all the time, played for the Denver Broncos, is on ESPN. He said any old bum can play guard. He said that. He said any old bum can play guard. The real athletes are a tackle. So if I'm reading this right, and I could read this completely wrong, I think eventually what you're going to see, if Ragnar stay put, you're eventually going to see Sewell kick the left. You're probably going to see Manu kick the right. You're going to see Ratledge at the right guard position. And you're going to see Mahogany hold down the left guard position, which at the end of the day is a hell of a find. I think I've really been downselling Brad Holmes' ability to find talent later rounds, because I kind of forgot he found Iffy, and Effie just couldn't stay healthy. He found St. Brown in the middle of the rounds. Who else did he find? Mahogany. So they got an eye for talent. They got a significant eye for talent. So if is this the Manu hit? If it's Frazier hit at some point, some of these late round guys start to contribute, because Mahogany was phenomenal last year when he played. A couple of those games, Mahogany was the highest rated player on the Lions offense. Shit, and probably including that sorry ass defense last year. But for sure, he was a couple of them games, he was their highest rated offensive player. Believe it or not. So, like I said, Ratledge, big, physical, explosive. When you get 6'7" and you get explosive and violent and mean all in one player, I can't knock it. I can't knock it. The Isaac Tesla guy, I researched him. He went to Hudson. He was out of Hudsonville. Hudsonville, I think they made it to the state championship this year. I think they ended up upsetting Howe because Howe beat them earlier this year, but he didn't go to Hudsonville High School. He went to Unity Christian. But shout out to Hudsonville, right? Uh, yeah, shout out to them. But I mean, I didn't know much about him. 6'3", 6'4". This draft was filled with some tall receivers, man. The kid from Arizona was another tall guy. This kid went to Hillsdale, athletic. I mean, he was 29 out of like almost 4,000 receivers. His athletic grade was 29th out of like 38 or 36 to 3,800 receivers in the history of the combine since 1987. He's the 29th most athletic receiver. I mean, 4'4", just under a 40-inch vertical. I mean, this dude is elite. And on top of that, I mean, he's a physical run blocker. A willing physical run blocker. Um, you know, to add on to being a willing physical run blocker, he has some great hands. He has some great hands. His hands are some of the most is natural. So when I kind of read and kind of took a look at him, and he brought a Lions jersey to the workout, and Brad Holmes, and that's why I kind of try to watch as many interviews as possible. He talked about he hadn't heard about him until the Senior Bowl, and he said he dominated the Senior Bowl. Now he also I got to watch the interview with Dan Miller. He also alluded to the point where there was some hidden reasons why his Tesla's production wasn't higher at Arkansas this last year. He said there were some hidden reasons why that happened. He said that obviously they want to keep that under wraps, but he continued to say that for the most part there was it's a lot of things that we don't see that go into the draft. Now, for all the Shador people, all the Shador Sanders people, let me throw this in here. I think it was Phil Simms, the quarterback of the Giants, won the Super Bowl. Remember, I mean, well, most of y'all might not remember this, but he won the Super Bowl for the Giants. But I think the first Super Bowl run he got injured, and Jeff Hoster, the backup quarterback, won the first Super Bowl. Then he finally came back and won another one, right? He said that he heard around NFL, and I think he does play-by-play on CBS. And he said he heard that owners told NFL teams to take Shador Sanders all the way off their boards. So we already know. We know Martha said take that ninja off the board. You know, Martha. You know, that's one thing about female leadership. You know, females don't have any empathy for men. No, don't forget that. They ain't gonna have no empathy. They don't have no sympathy for you. So when a dude do something from a female standpoint of view, men are already evil, and he don't deserve a second chance. So that's why a lot of times the Lions don't take chances on guys. When you got female leadership and then you add it on to, you know, baby boomer generations and shit like that, it's a wrap. So you're not gonna take chances on guys that got bad character. But I was explaining that to somebody else. I said, you need bad character guys. I remember somebody told me in one of my comment sections that why do you need hood ninjas? You definitely do. That's where all the talent be at. You know, you need some rednecks. You need some hunters. You need some hood ninjas. You need some good, outstanding citizens. You need some crazies. You need all that on the NFL team. But a lot of people who never been in the locker room don't understand it. It's a balance. If you go out there and get all choir boys, you're not going to have much success. You go out there and get all fucking hood niggas, you ain't going to have no success. But you need a balance. You need a balance. You need your J-Mo's. You need your Gardner Johnsons on some of these squads. You need your Jack Campbells, more reserved and humble. You need your Calvin Johnsons, more humble, more reserved guys. You know, you need your crazies like Louis Delmas. You know what I'm saying? You need a nice plethora of guys. So you can't just draft and say, well, we just like this person tonight. But Brad don't do that. Brad don't do that. Brad understands that if you a football player and you get your hands dirty, Brad fuck with you. That's what I like about Brad and Dan. If you love football at its core, Brad and Dan fuck with you. They understand. They looking for football players. If you pursue the football, if you got a motor, you know, you can make this team. So a lot of the guys that they drafted, just kind of doing more research and doing the research I'm doing on them. A lot of these dudes is they're football players. But the first three picks I talked about also, they're, you all right, Bucko? They're elite talent. They're elite athletes. So, but Tesla, I like him a lot. Now, will he come in and be impactful next year? I doubt it. I doubt it. You know, a lot of times he played a lot in the slot. And that's one thing you learn. That McMillan kid for Arizona, 6'4", 214, he playing in the slot. You be like, well, why do a lot of these guys play in the slot so much? One of the reasons why a lot of these dudes play in the slot is because they can't beat man coverage on the outside. It's a different world when you go out and play man coverage. It's just a different world, I'm telling you. When you're on that island, outside the hashes, and you play man coverage, it's a different world. It's a different world. No, I don't smoke. Like, dude, even moving out to the suburbs, we smoke. Like this, if I did, there's a dispensary right up the street. But if I had the hose, weed man wouldn't be nowhere to be found. But nonetheless, uh, I got interrupted by do we smoke niggas. I thought I moved out the hood and got away from them niggas, especially with dispensaries opening. Go ahead. Go. But yeah, most of them guys play on the inside, because on the outside you got to be able to be press man. You got to be able to be off, press zone, off coverage, and it's a little bit different because when you go on inside, you kind of got a two-way go, with more room. All right, I'm not about to continue to get dragged. But yeah, you kind of got like a two-man go on the inside. So I can go left, I can go right, I can go at a 90-degree angle, I can go up. When you're on that boundary, yeah, you can go to your right or you can go to your left outside the hashes. You can. But that boundary is the 12th man. So a lot of these, to be 6'4", 214, 6'3", and you can't beat press coverage, or you can't get separation. To me, that's troubling. At 6'4", I gotta bump you off. I gotta line you up off the line of scrimmage or put you in motion to get you a free release. And believe it or not, some receivers, they never learn how to get separation. They never learn how to get the proper release. So with Isaac Tesla, that's what it's gonna be about. And for that McMillan kid out of Arizona, how do you get off the line of scrimmage and create separation? You're like, well, he's fast. He should be able to. Speed don't always mean that. Running your routes cleanly, coming out of your breaks cleanly. He got the hands. He got the athleticism. Now, can we get him the route running? Can we get him strong enough to beat that press coverage on the outside? And you know what's funny about it for Tesla? He going to a team that played the most coverage, man-to-man coverage, and probably played the most press man coverage in the league. So he gonna see it. Every corner of the Lions guy can play press man coverage. From guys that's bigger like Terrion Arnold to smaller guys like Reader and Meek Roberts. He gonna see a lot of it. He gonna see a lot of it. And once he able to learn how to run routes and get those free releases and get off them jams, I think the sky's the limit for that young man. I really do. So that's probably my favorite pick was Tesla, and the story, all that go into it. That probably was my favorite pick. Hellified athlete. Like I said, since 1987, about 30 to 3,600 to 3,800. I ain't gonna lie, that's a big ass dog. That's a big ass dog. 3,800 to 3,600 receivers, 36 to 3,800. I forget the exact number. I think it was in the 3,800s. He's 29th in athletic ability. Since 1987, around 3,800 wide receivers. He's the 29th most athletic wide receiver. That is fucking phenomenal. You know, he's a white boy too, so I mean, you know what they feeding him in Hudsonville, but I mean, that's impressive. At 6'3", we ain't talking about a 5'9", 5'8" Mike Fury. Shout out to Mike Fury. You know, remember he knocked down the Star in Dallas? Mike Fury would be a fucking legend for that in my book forever. So, but yeah. So when you talking about elite athlete, do you have it? Now I don't have to get the order after him. So bear with me. I know they took the first Egyptian player. Shout out to the continent of Africa, the great continent of Africa, out of Boise State. His last name was, I don't know, his name was Hassan something. No disrespect. He even went as far as to say he willing to die for Dan Campbell on that field. You know, and you know he's raw. Maybe give me some probably some Willie Young type of vibes. You know, a guy that was picked late, but Willie Young was very productive for the Lions. You know, this guy is a pass rushing savant. He can get after the quarterback, a lot of tackles for loss. You know, full-time starter, he been nothing but productive. But at this point, it's going to be about pad level in my Rod Marinelli voice. I'm making a lot of old Lions references today. This is going to be about technique. You know, developing moves, playing the run, playing with leverage, playing, you know, with the proper pad level. When you get somebody that's new to football, you know, it's just going to be about technique. And if they can clean that technique up, and they have done it with other players, they've done it with Aleem McNeil. So if they can clean that technique up, and you know, the athletic ability is there. You know, a lot of times the football players that come from the continent of Africa, they're really, really good. Remember the Nigerian Nightmare? Christian, what's his name? But you know, one of my favorite football players, Antonio Atwater, turned to Nigerian Nightmare's lights out. Go Google that one. Go on YouTube and watch Antonio Atwater versus Nigerian Nightmare. Man, Antonio Atwater, man. Him, John Lynch. Oh, man. Those are my favorite safeties to watch. Hey, Louis Delmas was fun to watch, too. Bob Sanders. For those who remember, he was an MVP as safety. They were some of my favorite. Oh, you know who I really like? But I really don't want to say because he's still an active player. But I said, I'll even like him at Notre Dame. Harrison Smith. Oh, man, I love some Harrison Smith, man. That dude's a dog. Played for Minnesota. You know, Harrison Smith is a fucking animal. Always liked the way he played football. Really did. Still do. Still getting it done in Minnesota. Kind of some of the players I kind of want to see get a ring too, because I just always liked the way he played football. So he a dog. I love Harrison Smith. He could play on my team any day. You know, where did you get a 4.3? He ran a 4.4. I didn't say a 4.3. If I said a 4.3, my bad. He ran a 4.4. 4.4.3. He ran a 4.43. I'm fighting with my dog right now. But he ran a 4.43. Excuse my language. He ran a 4.43, I believe it was. So, but who else we had? But yeah, the Boise State guy. So it's a lot of potential there. The motor's there. Boise's still a great program. So yeah, I don't know how much potential there, but obviously the mentality there. Miles Frazier, a guard out of LSU, played every position. I think he might have transferred somewhere. Don't mark me on that, but he played every position. Tackle, guards. I think he played center as well too. So he played every position. What? I think he played every position as well too in college football. I want to say he maybe took some games at center, but he a problem. But yeah, he a problem. So, but they moved up and got him. Didn't think he'd be there. You know, seasoned guy. I mean, they got another seasoned guy around the same time in Makai Wingo last year, and he played well until he got injured. So I don't, you know, Miles Frazier, experienced guy, seasoned guy. They got a hell of an offensive line room. I'll tell you that. The competitions is gonna be fierce amongst the offensive line. So it's gonna be fierce. So, but But yeah. Then you had Dan Jackson. I like what I've seen from him too. Walk on at Georgia, one of their 7th round picks. He was a walk on safety, 4-4 guy, good in coverage. Um, um, probably gonna be a great contributor on special teams. Um, Good contributor on special teams. Probably some things to clean up in the run attack, but he caught a lot of the plays for that defense. He caught a lot of plays for that Dan Campbell. I mean, for that Kirby Smart defense in Georgia. I'm sorry, I'm fighting with this dude, man. So, seemed like a lion pick. And then you had Dominic Lovett, who started off in Missouri, the slot receiver. Brad Holmes said he had his eye on him for a while. So they liked Lovett a lot, slot receiver guy. Played in Missouri, productive at Georgia. So do I expect all these guys to make the team? No. But the more research, and I kind of heard Brad Holmes, Calvin Shepard break down the draft. I liked it. I liked it. I liked it. So yeah, I like their draft. I like how they got the guys that they wanted, how they secured the line of scrimmage. I was gonna give you some lamb chops, but my dog's stomach is so weak. He got the weakest stomach. What did I give him yesterday? I don't feel like I gave him. I'm not giving you shit else tonight. You got the stomach of a grandma. I just gave him turkey sausage too. That's it. That's it. That it. But yeah, I mean, I ain't mad at the draft. He also talked about Brad talked about that there's other avenues. There's other avenues to get players. You got post June 1st cuts. You're gonna have training camp cuts. Hold on real quick, y'all. Come here, man. Come here. I shouldn't have to. Come on, man. Fighting with this dude today, man. Shouldn't be fighting with you. And then you choke up on the leash. Now he want to be a model citizen. I don't be wanting to be a dick, but they may make you be a dick. The world make you be a dick. Want to be a nice guy. But now if I go like this, he want to be, see, looking at white women, see? But yeah, I mean, he said there was other avenues to acquire talent. So we'll see. What if Zadarius come back? Man, Zadarius with a stripper right now. Any nigga that go hold a stripper up, I don't give a fuck, she was a stripper 20 years ago. Any person seen in public holding hands with a former stripper, motherfucker's mentally insane. Knowingly holding hands with a known stripper. You probably can kiss the bottom of a toilet seat in a transgender bathroom and it's cleaner than your average stripper in Detroit. Absolutely fucking not. Oh, come on. No. Come on. Oh, yeah, he's cool.
I thought it was good at touch.
Nah. But, yeah. I'm not like a fucking stripper. You out your rabbit. Yeah, she was a stripper. What you thought? I was talking about the, no. You can't have her food. You thought I was talking about the stripper tool? Nah, he looking at Hispanic women. This guy. He looking at her food. She ain't gonna share that food with you. Yeah, I didn't know she was a stripper. And look here, that's what you into. Don't let me shame you. I just think strip clubs are disgusting, bro. I don't want no booty, coochie juice. around my lamb chops, around my chicken, I'm good. No, thank you. She is a beautiful, yeah, she a nice person. I went to school with her. She is a nice person. She's a very nice person. This ain't no indictment on her. I'm just saying. I'm not I'm not cuffing no stripper. Especially if I got money. Well, I mean, I get it. I definitely do. But, that's just a different. I'm not gonna touch on it. Y'all know where I touch on these subjects at, man. The link in the description. Join the Free Game 89 channel. Hit the link tree and you can find all my shit there. I'm not gonna touch on it. Yeah, I don't want no fucking coochie juice by my steak bites. Y'all seen the STI numbers in Michigan is at a 30. It ain't been this high in the last. It's been 30 years since the numbers been this high. But me personally, y'all do what y'all want to do. But you know, I done had homies that played that game. Y'all got it. I don't want no parts of it. I think it's the highest in here in Jackson. That's crazy. And Jackson is crazy. What y'all got going on in old country Jackson outside of the state penitentiary? That's wild. That's super wild. Yeah, that's super wild, bro. Do what you do. It ain't in Houston and Atlanta, boy. You definitely playing Russian roulette with your tool out there. I'm good. But this is what happened when you allow women to be promiscuous. When ain't no shame. Remember they used to be shamed? Women used to be shamed if they used to get caught stripping at the strip club. Remember that? Women used to be trying to strip to get their way through college, and if they found out they was a stripper or a porn star, they used to be embarrassed. Now they getting on TikTok. Yeah, I suck Vienna sausages for a living. Yeah, I'm an OnlyFans model. Yeah, you could book me right now, and you can hit it for 10. You can hit it for 300. They have no shame, bro. There is no shame, man. There is no shame in the game. Yeah, I eat groceries. Like, oh man. Yeah, Birmingham, wild place. I used to be down there. 205. Memphis is y'all got that rate y'all got that STI that can take you out, that can send you to the upper room. Yeah, Memphis, that's but y'all close to Atlanta anyway. Yeah, Memphis one of them other places you put your tool up. Bring you a pocket pussy when you come to Memphis, nigga. Yeah, Memphis got that one that can send you to the upper room. Now they say they got a flesh-eating disease. I'm like, that's what happened when you let people sleep with everybody and, you know, push all these agendas and shit. That's what happened. That's what happened. These women talking about, oh, I don't see what's wrong with a one-night stand. All right. And believe it or not, one-night stand for women are not fun. Women tend to have the best sex based off retention. Yeah, based off retention, women tend to have the best sex. So, once they start getting used to a sexual partner, and if sexual partner start learning them, that's when they have they best sexual experiences. But the one night stands ain't no fun for them. The thrill might be fun, but the experience is not. So being promiscuous for women, it really don't do them no good. And they the ones that biologically how they built, they carry a lot of diseases. So pushing hoe culture and slut culture is really hurting society. But do what you do. I think it's beneficial for men too to get one partner too. So you ain't got to worry about who you got pregnant or passing diseases to your partner. That's selfish. I think it's beneficial at this point for men to be with one woman as well too. Don't think fucking these hoes is fun. They tell you all the fun parts about having sex with women. But you gotta go to the clinic or the pregnancy squares or the abortion finesse. You know, when you're dealing with that, you know, it ain't no fun. Now I'm just keeping it real with y'all. You know, everybody want to tell you the fun part of sleeping with all these women. You know, but to be honest, it really ain't. You know, especially if you trying to get your money up or you got a career, it ain't fun. It ain't fun. It ain't fun at all. Have your first real pregnancy scare and see how that treats you. That's enough to make a nigga want to go celibate for the rest of his life. And it's always with the woman that you don't want to be with. That's a fact. It's always with the woman that's worse for you. I'm gonna put this up real quick. So that's what I will. Just a little piece of advice. Everybody want to tell you, oh, this is some cool shit. Ain't shit fly about it, my nigga. Ain't shit fly about it. Ain't shit fly about hitting somebody else's chick and the nigga finding out. Now you got beef with him. He want to pull up on you. He want to fight. You know how many times I had niggas call me, you fucking with her? Nah, I'm laughing at niggas' faces. Laugh at niggas' faces, man. Eric, what up? Dolomite, salute. Kirby deserving, Motor City Low, Dolo, Mike, Kirby a beast. Who did you want in 28? I don't know enough. If I had to pick somebody, he was gone. I like James Pierce a lot. I like James Pierce a lot. You think that's smart to cut him down? You think that's smart to cut him down? Oh yeah, yeah, definitely is. Cut. They cut Lee McNeil way down. Yeah, smart. Yeah. What did Lee McNeil get down about 314? Yeah, smart. See, we could have got Mike Green. Yeah, I heard the guy at the gym was telling me how good he thought Mike Green was. So whatever reason they didn't. Yep, control the line of scrimmage with those space eaters. No, we picked up Ratledge before Green was taken. We picked up Ratledge before Green. Oh, so Green fell further behind Ratledge. That's crazy. We'll see. Maybe we find Will Johnson fell. I'm surprised they didn't take a flyer on Will Johnson. I know he was injured, but Brad loved them injured people. Yeah, he a big boy. Yeah, you talking about Rutledge? Rutledge? Yeah, Rutledge. Man, that motherfucker big as hell. You ain't gonna run up on no Rutledge. Do you think this draft class? I can't say. Who was last year? Terrion. Throw some names out there. Terrion was last year. I don't know who all was last year. I know Terrion was last year. So it's early. Oh, Ennis Rackstraw. So yeah, Ennis Rackstraw was having a good camp till he got injured. I'll be glad once the baby boomer owners sit down. Yeah. You talking about that long sit down. You ain't gotta say it the ones. Yeah. Baby boomers fucked everything up for everybody. Tay Tay, what's going on? Demetrius, what's going on? I'm in a 4-4-3, bro. He said hopefully it clicks for him. Injury free. Shout out to Hudsonville FC. Makes it 53. Got practice squad. Yeah, he about 6'3". 6'3", 6'4". His vert was like, I thought it was 39 and a half. What do you think about the edge? Yeah, I just spelled on. I can't believe my damn. This is crazy. That shit gonna just beat. Dog, y'all trees still ain't growing there yet. Damn. What's the weather? What you mean they ain't growing? Shit, they growing to me. Oh, you talking about the leaves on there? Man, shit was just cold not too long ago. Yeah, the leaves will grow at some point. It's just not getting warmer. He said Cash Dog was a stripper. I ain't know that. How you not know that? When they had it was a whole Fed case on her. That's a fact. The guy got caught up in an alleged drug case. I don't know what happened. And in the drug case, they were talking about how the drug dealer um, bought her, bought her body parts, bought her stripper body parts and shit. Real skill. I'm telling you end up getting a lot. Once you start reading, instead of just, you should listen to, but you start reading some stuff, you get the more context. You tend to remember it a little bit more. But yeah, she real cool though. I like her though. She's a great person. I think Brad Holmes is too big on character. We need. I don't think it's just character. I think because he took a chance on James Houston, that motherfucker got kicked out of Florida. I don't think it's character. I think he big on motor, physicality, and if you love football, I think he big on football character. I hate that we passed on Jai Campbell. I mean, shit, they just paid Derek Barnes. They got Jack Campbell on the contract for 3 more years. That's without the franchise tag. They just signed Alazoni, so where was he gonna fit at? Been to strip club, never again. Iraq. I think that's Hyson Jackson. That's crazy. Milwaukee. Like, yeah, I don't know much about Milwaukee. I was just in Memphis last year. Almost got me. You in the bar? Yeah, I been got out the hood. I need to hit Bill Street. Bill Street is whack, bro. Come on to Memphis. Boy, cabinet's empty as hell. Them tears real. Oh, my cabinets. Hey, I don't. I got a bunch of shit in there, but I don't. I don't really cook like that. I got a bunch of shit in there. I got what? Anything you need: cream of wheat, oatmeal, rice, uh, refried beans, which they've been sending during tuna. Yeah, I stay by myself, so yeah. I ain't got no pancake mix up there at all, so I don't know what you seen. That I don't. What up, Miss D? I see you. To these hoes for everybody. Yeah, I seen this video this dude did, and this dude wife had an obsession with going to the gym. She was going to the gym 2 days two times a day. Long story short, she was pregnant. He found out that she was cheating on him while she was pregnant. That shit was crazy. I think the Lions were going after Pierce. The Falcons jumped us. You might be right. Shout out to Isaiah Sullivan. I appreciate it. Yeah, the Lions draft was weak as hell. Fuck, they got caught. I don't think they got caught up in character. I thought they got caught up in filling position needs for the future. But only time will tell. Yeah, I still like Will Johnson. Yeah, Will's about to ball out. He went to Arizona. Kuiper said it was an A+ draft. Did he? Shout out to Kuiper. You got all the basics. We rocking with you. Shout out to TF. He said Will Kuiper said it was a good draft. Yeah, we'll see. Will Tesla, Brown, Waymo be the top? No, not right away. Nope. Maybe in 2 or 3 years. Not right away. Honestly, fam, do you like the D? I don't know much about him. Yeah. Yeah, this dude got, yeah, he said the woman had obsession with the gym. He didn't think she was cheating on him, and they was married too. He went through her phone, and he seen a little bit, and then eventually she confessed to it. I'm like, man, it's fucked up. It's fucked up, but yeah. Yeah, I seen personal trainers at the gym, so I already know. I already know how that go. And I see how they get down at the gym. And she was like, I told him I was married. I respect people. Like, if you married, bro, if you in a relationship, I respect it, bro. Like, no, go on, move on. I respect a woman in a relationship. Fuck that. I don't want that. I don't want that bad karma. I'm more likely to tell you to go back and work it out with your husband. That's just my type of person. Like, I'm not a sexual driven person. I really never have been. You know, I know it's hard for some people to believe, but I seen a lot of people I grew up with were like very sexually driven. Me personally, it just, to me, it's just, it is what it is. When you be sexually driven, you kind of blind to a lot of shit. I love women, but it ain't never been that deep for me. Especially to pay for some pussy, nigga. Niggas be paying for it. It ain't never been that deep. Wait till they get them sex dials at. Our birth rate's gonna be in the negatives. You think the Lions front office got pressure this year? No, I don't think they got pressure. Nope. I guess you shoot them prices up like they about to, yeah. But I'll talk about the Pistons another day, bro. Soon. Not gonna lie, I was ready to whoop. I'm not mad. I mean, I kind of like the draft after he explained it, but we'll see. Do you believe in marriage? Yeah, I believe in marriage. You don't necessarily, if you've done it right. I mean, you don't necessarily got to get married with the government. You got prenups, post nups. I don't. I mean, good luck with a post nuptial, but yeah, I think people say it's holy, but the concept of marriage in America is kind of like when women didn't have any rights, like when they were literally possessions to men. So if a man broke bad on them, It was there to protect. A lot of these laws is old in America, and if a law, benefited men, men would anybody would abuse the law. But you got to make sure you protect yourself. If a woman tell you no prenup, you know what I'm saying, and you ask her what a prenup, does she know what a prenup? Because most people don't know what a prenup is. Most people think a prenup is you bring what you bring to the table. I bring what I bring. You leave what you bring. You look no you leave what you brought. I keep what I brought. A prenuptial agreement is just pretty much how you split assets after marriage. If something was to happen, how you split the assets. So it could be like I take everything, I take nothing, I take this, that, and the third. But also you can do a contract without the government. You could get your trust out the way about if something happened to one of y'all. The money go here, go here. If we had kids, that's how we split custody. You just not had the government. Now I don't know how that would work as far as if you had healthcare benefits or flight benefits or any type of benefits that legally come with a job. How would that work? But as far as if something happened, health insurance and assets and money, it covers that. So and also you don't have to worry about getting lawyers involved as much as far as it costs to get divorced. So I mean I'm a promoter of get you a prenup 6 months before your marriage date is the ideal thing where they can't break the prenup. Or I just say just get a marriage and just do your own, write your own contract up and leave the government out of it. But I definitely think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So it's a good thing. Just got to make sure if y'all gonna have a closed door policy where y'all not gonna cheat on each other, make sure you can handle that. Make sure the person that you with both ways, they like you, they love you. It shouldn't be a one way street where you doing everything for her, you doing everything for him, and he don't appreciate you. You know, make sure that they put their neck out there for you too. You'll know. But in my opinion, I think it's better when the families pick the marriage, pick the partners for the children. I'm a promoter of them traditional shotgun marriages. Well, not shotgun marriages, but where the family pick it. My boy's a personal trainer. He always fighting off mature to old women. Yeah, yeah, I can believe it. A lot of them be divorced. Um, I can believe it. A lot of them, like, believe it or not, and a lot of y'all won't believe me. Once a woman gets to her mid 30s, on up to until she can't have or she don't want to have sex no more, that's the highest sex drive. Real talk. That's the highest. When women kind of say, "Oh, I don't want to have sex with my husband no more," and they be 40, 45, 50, that's bullshit. Unless it's a medical reason. Women that's around that age, kind of where they kind of start talking about geriatric pregnancy, they like to have a lot of sex. They like that. I'm telling you, they like to have a lot of sex. Christian Okoye, that's his name, Nigerian Nightmare. Marriage rates down 70% from 60 years ago at the age of 30. I can believe it. The economy got a lot to do with it, but guess what? If you put two incomes together, people in the communities really think, okay, let's bring all our assets together and split them equally. But Shaq is the new GM for Sack Statements. Dang, what's going on? I think the brother Max Crosby is some assistant GM at Eastern Michigan. Master P, the GM at New Orleans University or whatever. He said D said if you didn't get past Russia in the free agency, the Lions didn't get the Russia they wanted. That's true. 50% of toy companies also going out of business within the years due to less kids and tariffs. There you go. Tariff. I agree with Trump on the tariffs. Make these motherfuckers invest into America. It got to be done. They can't just keep getting here and profiting and exploiting America and not paying the proper tax. They don't let that shit go on in China. You got to plant seeds in order you to make money in China. Like, that's a wild question, bro. Like, come on now. That's not what we here for. That's not what we here for. Niggas is weird. Niggas is weird. Let me get out of here, man. On that note, the dude was weird, but hey, people get mad when you start speaking real. I do think marriage is a good thing, but is it for everybody? No, it's not. And marriage doesn't have to be monogamous neither. Like, it's whatever y'all agree to. But I say this: if you got a good person and ain't shit out here, we already talked about the STI rates, ain't shit out here but STIs. So if you got a good husband, a good wife, a potential girlfriend, man, keep them, bro. Just because they got 7 flavors that come in the box, don't mean you gonna like all 7 flavors. Trust and believe me. But I appreciate y'all. Peace.